We'll probably wait a minute just so that people can dial in, because I think people are dialing in from their Christmas break or their festivities. Have you had a good time? Are you still up there, John?
Getting on a plane in a couple hours.
Aha, okay.
Going back
Try and
to
keep it
warm
short in
weather.
that case. Yeah. Yeah.
Although
nice
my
to see
daughter's ready to move back to Utah, it's pretty nice up here. It's pretty great.
Aha.
Yeah.
It has its attractions.
Sure does.
There's Stuart, popped up on the screen. Great to see you.
Great to see
Okay,
you.
We are live. Hey, Stuart, we're live. So I'll start off. I think people are going to start. Someone's asking me if that's sunburn. It is a touch of sun, Julia. I got to admit, it's been very hot over here. So there is just a touch of sunshine. Although the cold even spread to Miami and to the Caribbean recently. So we've been down to the 70s, which was a bit of a shock to the system. I will start off, if I may, and it's so great to have you all here. And happy holidays once again to everybody. I hope we all managed to celebrate, relax a bit, think about happier things, and I'd love to hear about that in a minute. Really, really honoured to speak today. Usually only the Queen gets to speak at Christmas, as you probably know. So John obviously has connections at Buckingham Palace. I'm not sure what they are, but they're obviously there. I hadn't, unfortunately, John, managed to install the Zoom Buckingham Palace background, but I'm working on that. I did opt, though, for the black cupboard and white door Zoom backdrop instead, so I'll stick with that. But I was... actually, I don't see Glenn. Is Glenn there? I don't think Glenn's there, but I was going to chuck in a Star Trek joke for Glenn, who'll probably hopefully see it in the recording. What do you call a Klingon who is aiming a photon torpedo at you, Glenn? The answer is sir. Anyway, I thought they'd try. I couldn't resist that, I'm afraid. Couldn't resist. I was going to keep it short today, but when I really thought about what I wanted to say and cover, I realized I really would need to speak for a heck of a long time. So strap yourselves in. Here we go. I wanted to celebrate all of us, and I think we can celebrate our members and all that we've all achieved this year already in the short time we've been together, really, and all the individual qualities in the people in this group that can inspire us all every day and that do. I certainly celebrate you all every time I think about the group, which is very often. We've grown into a family, we've grown wings together, and you've all raised me definitely to a higher state of action. John told us, and he keeps telling us, to make a spectacle of ourselves, and we've done it. We've certainly done that. I can't mention everyone today, but that doesn't mean I'm not deeply connected to you or thinking about you. I'm just sort of struggling to fit all this in and try and not to speak for the whole session. I've got to mention, for example, my brilliant coach, Therese. Apart from being a great and lovely person, she's coached me on my health issues, and she's made a real difference. And that's because Therese studies the topics in depth with passion and uses lateral thinking. And those are great qualities that everyone here can emulate and benefit from. And then I see Brother Mark has dialed in. Always great to see you, Mark. Always there for everyone. So down to earth, so humble. But Mark has really faced more than most of us will ever know in our lives. And we can learn from him and his great approach to life and life's problems. I got to say, Mark, I think only sees his objectives and the obstacles must give way, as the famous quote goes. I think it's true in Mark's case. And that brings me on to one of the kindest people I think you'll ever meet, which is Bill. I don't see Bill immediately on my screen, but I hope he's there. Bill has also faced daily danger and evil for our protection. He's risked his own life and his well-being in the past so that we could all stay safe. And, again, Bill just gets on with it in a very modest way. And what an example he is to us and to his granddaughter, who we've often seen. And you can throw into that mix Nikki. She's also served, and again is so humble and unassuming about all of this. But she's such an intelligent and able person, building her new wings like many of us are doing right here, right now. And those unquestioning sacrifices of Bill, Nikki and Mark, and really their self-effacing nature and their down-to-earth attitudes are a torch for all of us. They're showing us the way every day. And I had to mention Mr. Sunshine, Glenn himself. He could hold back the tide, in my view, with his sheer positivity and enthusiasm. Thank you, Glenn, for powering us through this year. and for sharing your vast knowledge and your experience with us all. If we want to develop a can-do attitude, look no further, everyone, than Glenn. He really has got it. Virginia, I'm looking again on the screen. Too many faces for me to spot immediately, I'm afraid. But Virginia, you're a marvel and a real example of just bashing through the barriers, wearing your huge heart on your sleeve and getting it done. Done, John's favorite word. That is Virginia all over. That's what it takes. And Virginia has shown us the way to do it. And then we come to the magnet himself, who's temporarily off camera, but I know he's there, and his secret weapon, Shannon. It really has taken John years of constant learning and reprogramming himself in order to get to the point he's at now and to be able to help us. And that knowledge is not dead knowledge. John's tended that knowledge, grown that knowledge, and he really, really applies it every day. And he shows us how to apply it every day. Thank you, John, really from the bottom of our hearts for that. That is what lifelong learning does, and that's what it means. Show us the way, John, and please keep doing it. And also show us the way, Stuart, Cyril, and Wayne on that front. They're also bastions of lifelong learning and sharing knowledge. And well done, Lindsay Dollar, for jumping onto that lifelong learning track and showing us the way and seeking personal growth and new challenges. I know it's been tough, and you jump right on there and you're grabbing every piece of knowledge you can get. So well done. That's a great example again for everybody. And then back to Shannon. What can we say? I mean, she's a real powerhouse, brimming with knowledge. She's a leader, a counselor with great experience. And between them, Shannon and John walk the walk every single day for us. And they've opened up their hearts to all of us, which I really appreciate. So let's show them in return that we can get it done, as John would say. So I know from many, many discussions with them, John and Shannon really only want one thing above all else, and that is success for all of us. That's all they want to see. Hence all the wonderful sessions they've both hosted, Shannon's brilliant explanations for us, and also her ladies group trying to encourage everybody to become an entrepreneur. That is really a massive example. And yes, meant to mention actually, Mark, that after Mark's recent foray into film excerpts, which you might remember, we were contacted by Steven Spielberg. He does want to make a film about the group, but he says that our title JLSM is rather too long. He was thinking more of a film using only two letters, and with John on the poster riding a flying bicycle disguised in a wrapped blanket. So we'll see how that goes. We'll keep our eyes on the script. I'm personally still recovering from being compared earlier in the year to a small, very old and wizened green figure with large pointed ears. And that character famously said, "Do or not do, there is no try," which was actually the title of one of the talks I gave. And it has really become, quite funny enough, an emblematic phrase for me. I think it really does sum it up in a way that only Yoda could. Anyway, so many more people to mention, and apologies in advance if I don't mention you all. It's not intentional. I'm stumbling through, partly trying to remember everybody because we're growing in number. But my wonderful friend, Ego, full of grace and kindness, but at the same time, a person of thought and a person of action, a planner and a teacher at the same time. Serene, but running fast to help others and digging in to help others constantly. So thank you, Ego, for that example. Evelyn Melendez-Avillas has coordinated everything for us on Facebook and a lot of our efforts. And she recently bravely leapt into the unknown when her income was literally taken away during the crisis. She really is a bottomless well of courage and of love for us all. And she's smart and she's a natural entrepreneur. And I think she's found her track now and she's bringing it home. That's just brilliant, brilliant to see. Another great example of taking action and vigorously attacking goals every single day. And look what you can do. Our other brave Evelyn, she's also a battler, Evelyn Smith. She refuses to give up, and we can draw inspiration from that alone. And Evelyn is fighting forward as we speak and hacking down those obstacles that were getting in her way. And I know that. And well done, Evelyn, and brilliant to see that. And again, an example to me every single day when I talk to people like Evelyn that you can do it. You've just got to keep going, consistently plowing on, because it will happen. And then another person plowing on, our brave and lovely Star, who is transforming her and Elvie's life and future one day at a time. And all of these people, the two Evelyns and Star, they're very smart cookies. They're very capable, and they've seen the path forward now, and they've decided to take action. And it's that decision that counts. And I know they can do it, but they've taken that decision. That's the first step, and they're on the road. And they will tell us all that stress and worry can be overcome. So let's draw inspiration from that. And then Ivier, well, what can I say about Ivier? Firstly, I don't think she's slept since John launched this group, which is quite a few months now. And Ivier, it doesn't show. Quite remarkable. I really don't know how you do it. Ivier, boundless energy, intelligence, but oceans of humanity and caring, really puts me to shame, puts us all to shame when she describes the length she goes to help other people and look after her team, and wonderful stories she's given us. And also Ivier invests in her learning, personal growth every day as we need to get forward, but she never forgets other people in the process, and the fact you need to pay attention to their needs as well. So thank you, Ivier. You've really moved us. You're a living example of the possible and the how can I do it attitude, as well as at the same time moving mountains for other people, not yourself. Don't stop doing it, Ivier. I really do want to see number 10 on your front door. That's a British reference to 10 Downing Street for our US audience. I can't leave Toba and Edward out at this point either. They both embarked on personal development journeys, starting with very little and growing big. And if they can do what they've done with no hand up, no leg up, what can we do? Just think about those stories they told us. Amazing stories, amazing adaptation. Edward, several careers and constantly changing and learning. And that is the future, which I've been talking about in one of my life and business tools talks. That is the shape of the future. Constant pressure to adapt and change. And we have to get used to that and follow their example. Neil and Jane, so lovely, so determined. They've done it. They've actually shown us it really can be done. They're selling right now, night and day products. Alongside Adrian Jackson, who I'm going to describe as the atomic bomb of e-commerce. Adrian, I only need to listen to you for 5 minutes, and I think all my batteries automatically recharge. And I think I believe I could fly at that point. You're great. What an example. What an example of positive motivational force to break through. Watch out though, Adrian J, because a force of nature is moving up behind you in the form of Sonia, who is getting into full flight and has really demonstrated what mindset and determination can do, having come out of some difficult circumstances that she shared with us. Again, she's doing it. She's walking the walk and acting, and action and determination coupled to her goal. As we've been told, it works, and she's doing it. And well done also Caroline, Kim, Sylvia, and so many more of you for the listings you've achieved. You've listed the products, you've wrestled Amazon to the floor, you've overcome those terrible frustrations of not being able to break through the system and the algorithm, and you've done it. You've gone through the course. You've constantly revisited the course, learning every day. And all of those people started from absolute scratch, everybody. So just follow their lead. They've shown you, they've learned how to do it, and they've done it. They didn't know anything about this any more than we did at the start. Mandy doing the same thing, and she gives her all to all of us and steps up without question when there's a need to create a quiz, create a group feeling, host a session, host the book club. She's doing it, and she's never afraid to ask questions, never afraid to learn, never afraid of appearing silly. She just wants to learn, wants to do the best for everybody. And she always reaches out. So you're a great example of a real team leader and team member, Mandy. Thank you. And Coilla, I hope is somewhere here, a constant supporter of all of us, full of care, full of friendship, a giver, and totally selfless. And thank you for your spirit and your friendship, Quilla. You're just a rock and a foundation for this whole family, I think. Ace Man, similarly, always there for us. Thank you, Ace Man. Dependable, he's fun, he's loyal. We just want great things for you, Ace Man. And we're all here for you. We're all here for you whenever you need us, because you're always here for us. There are other members of the group who touch us perhaps with their grace and their deep spirituality and their intelligence, and they're connected very closely and very deeply to the people around them, and they're very aware. Nancy is one of them, my beautiful spirit. Nancy, full of grace and working so hard on her own personal goals. It brings tears to my eyes. She really is trying so hard. And I know, Nancy, you've got so much to offer. And Nicola and Ego doing the same thing. Nicola's a trailblazer, so organized, a goal setter. She's creating wins all the time now. And we can follow the trail that she's blazing for sure, because she's very happy to share and show her vulnerabilities and inspire us all with what can be done to overcome them. So thank you for that. Lovely Jane Akinyelu as well, so warm and caring and encouraging for everybody and always there on the sessions to back us up, as is our beautiful Coral, who really carries the torch for her whole nation and for us all. And that makes me think of lovely Gail as well, who does the same. Kind words for everybody, support for everybody, and such a strong moral compass. In Gail's case, such a strong moral compass, an example to everybody. We can feel all of you, all of those people, a combined real force and presence, even through the Zoom ether. So just imagine when we actually meet you, how we're going to feel and what we're going to feel. You're real transmitters. And Khaled, hope you're on today. You're brave. You're so brave and happy to expose your inner struggles in the hope that it will help all of us. And we really appreciate that. We've loved having you with us. And I think you've got many hidden talents and huge potentials, and you haven't quite showed them all to us yet, because I know that you're a determined person, and I just can't wait to see what you're going to do in 2021. That will drag us all along in your wake, I'm sure. So we're looking forward to that. And then there's our fun-loving and joyous and talented Ingrid, who I don't see on my screen, but I hope she's there. You're always such a spirit, Ingrid, and such a positive force, so cheerful, and it's so lovely to have you there alongside Jamie. Brother Jamie, what can I say about him? I mean, he's capable, he's smart, he's loyal, he's caring, he's just got a wonderful warmth about him. And he's yet another shining example to us all. He's felt so many things in life and experienced so many things, but he's never afraid to share that and make himself totally vulnerable and open in the process. And that's done a massive amount, Jamie, for all of us in the talks you've given. And I know that Jamie, Ace Man, Bill and Mark have got our backs. There's nothing coming past them. That's for sure. They're strong people. And that brings me to our friend Carleen, who really is a towering strength of this group. With Carleen on point, nothing ain't coming through. And no injustice, I think, would stand unchallenged. I believe that she would not tolerate unfairness or injustice against any of us or anybody else for that matter. Carleen, you've really shown us another dimension with your eloquence, your sheer power, and the emotion you bring to the sessions. But if we needed any other examples of the power of oratory, I think we need to look no further than three of our four powerhouses. Well, four of them really: Carleen, John, Ivier, and Glenn, the great orators, together with our beautiful storyteller and philosophical leader, really, Stuart. The five of you could set the world on fire from your armchairs, I think, with the power and depth of your words and your thoughts. And I could see Ivier chuckling away there, but it's true, Ivier. Another great speaker, a brilliant storyteller as well, and constantly prepared to put herself out there, off the cuff, really, and just share these wonderful stories. A great speaker. And a whole group of us doing things, acting on the advice we've been given. Linda, Sandy, always there. Daisy, always there. Emma, Suzanne, and Sharon, always there. Always prepared to learn, always asking questions, and then going and acting on them. And Giovanna, Lynn, David, Joe, Toyin, and the lovely Alison as well, always there as much as they can be, with Caroline and Mary and John and Carl, who I see there in the middle of my screen, with whom I exchange the occasional joke, it has to be said, and it's all great fun. He's such a lovely guy. Nader, I know, dials in when she can, and Gina and Joe I miss terribly. I'm not sure, I think they're very busy at the moment, but I do miss Gina and Joe, who was such a wonderful inspiration at the depths of this whole lockdown. And there are so many more, so many more. Thank you for all your enthusiasm and your constant support. And I just really want us all to fly together in 2021. Janet M. Can't forget Janet. Fabulous sense of humor. Lovely, lovely personality, Janet. You've got a lovely mischievous nature. And what a friend, and what a strong rock, and what a foundation for us all. Jodie as well, trying so hard to work on everything, enthusiastic and bubbly and always positive, and you're a real breath of fresh air. I can see you on my screen as well, Jodie. I can't see everybody, but you're there. So thank you so much. And one of our great thinkers, Julia, and a champion of inclusiveness, pursuing your goals, sharing your innermost thoughts and experiences with everybody. And I thank you for that, and always on the sessions and asking such incisive questions. Somebody that really, really wants to learn. Great example. Elmer and Hung Sang, wow, they were really, both of you were one of our earliest inspirations in this group, and probably the moment that we all realized what the group could do. And I know at the same time that the huge-hearted Virginia, EVA, and Evelyn all piled in to help Hung Sang on that occasion. And Hung Sang won the post, got a great new post, overcame all her fears. And that was just a brilliant example of what everyone can do when they pull together and back another group member up. You really are beacons for us, Elmer and Hung Sang, with your lovely daughter as well. Wayne, we constantly feel your presence and we miss you, brother. You are our example of how to be and how to behave. A tremendous inspiration and another great storyteller. What a guiding light for us all. That brings me to the chap in the middle of my screen, Brother Stuart, who really has meant, and he's nodding his head, he's shaking his head, trying to hide under his cap, but he's meant so much to so many of us, a true inspiration and a real font of endless learning. And boy, does Stuart's star burn brightly for all of us. He has all the planets in alignment, not just two of them, but all of them. And I really do think he thinks on a different level to most of us. He sees things we just don't see and brings those out for us in his wonderful talks. He's a true thinker and a true gentleman in every sense of the word. Stuart, you really are, I think, the embodiment of everything we all want to be. So bravo for that. And, please shine that light as far and as wide as you can, because we need it. And if we could do it on Zoom, I think you'd get a standing ovation right now. And feel free, anyone that wants to give Stuart a standing ovation. It's slightly difficult for me because I'll disappear from the screen, but we're all going to clap and applaud Stuart, who really is a leading light. A leading light, Stuart. So, finally, really getting towards the end of this, for all the people that don't speak so much, you're such an important part of this great adventure. And you support the sessions. I know you're working hard behind the scenes, seeking answers, learning, trying to break obstacles, trying to break previous barriers down. And I'm overwhelmed really by the sheer power of the examples everywhere around us in this group. And if you're wondering how the principles that we have been learning actually work, how to apply them, just look around you and ask any of these great people in this group. They're living these principles, they're applying them, they've made themselves people of action. We can all do that. It's all within our grasp. And my wish for 2021 is that nobody in the group should be left behind or feel stranded at any point. We're in this together. There's massive collective energy, and it's something we can all feel and all benefit from. And I think we can all share, and we're all happy to share that energy when it's needed. We can just direct it to the points it's needed. Different places every day, different people struggling at different moments. We can all be there to help. We've all been studying the power of vibration, and I just realized after going back over all those texts how important it is that we generate higher energy levels to get to our goal. You can't often achieve great things with the same energy level you go about your daily life in. One of the people I used to know used to talk of turning off and running on one battery and then bringing all the batteries in when you needed them. And I think that's a great summary. You can switch on all your batteries, because when you're really going for it on those bigger goals and those difficult moments, you need them all. And to do that, most of us need to bounce off and exchange with other people in a group to find and uncover that energy. It's a feedback, it's a virtual feedback loop, and it does work. And I've experienced it so many times. People raise you to a higher game just by being with them and exchanging, whether it's a joke, whether it's a piece of information, whether it's a kind word when you needed it. It can raise us to a higher level. And, the group does that for us. And along with many, many other things that it does, including pure, unconditional friendship and love, that safe space that so many people have talked about. But if anyone's feeling decoupled or adrift, you're only a few small steps away from the things other members in this group have already done. They've actually done it. They can show you how to do it. They'll quite happily literally show you how to do it. You can do it, but just take small steps every day. Don't worry about the bigger steps. Just start somewhere. 1% a day improvements I mentioned recently. That can move a mountain. I'd sum it up myself by saying, if in doubt, reach out. That's become another of my stock phrases that I'll remember. Just if in doubt, reach out. There are so many people out there that will be so happy to give you their experience. Let's celebrate those connections and those deep bonds that we form, because we really have. I was actually going to suggest using Glenn's win jar to put in the names of all the people that have really connected with us this year, that have really touched us, inspired us, or with whom we've just shared something very special. Sorry, Glenn, for hijacking your jar. Hopefully he'll forgive me. I just felt enormous love from and connections with everyone in the group, and just how special that is really strikes me every single day, every time I wake up. Mark summarized it so well yesterday, and well said, Mark. He said he just had to be here. And yeah, so do I. That's how I feel. By the way, Mark, we haven't talked aviation enough recently either. And at one point, I was actually suggesting renaming this group the Wright Brothers Success Mastermind. But things have gone downhill since then. So 2021, it's gear up and ailerons trimmed. Mark and Wayne, our other great aviator. So let's grab those jars or create a new jar, remind ourselves of the wonderful people that have literally sailed into our worlds from nowhere this year, from out of the blue. I'm certainly going to be putting their names in a jar, and hopefully perhaps other people will as well. By the way, it doesn't have to be a jar, it can be a tin. If you put all your connections and names into a tin, it will literally become linked tin. Sorry, I couldn't resist that joke either. A very bad one. Therese virtually fell off her chair, but there you go, linked tin. I hope they won't sue John after using their branding. Finally, really, let's hit the ground running in 21. Let's kick out the jams, as they say in certain parts of the States, for the benefit of the British audience and the younger audience. That is translated as to gently and politely remove all obstacles and restrictions with one's foot in order to take action. I prefer kick out the jams myself, but you're welcome to the longer version. I saw Rivier studiously writing that down. Yeah. You know, I'm moved and lifted by you all. I feel like sitting here really and crying tears of joy when I see you all there, because it's just so amazing what has happened. I'm going to open up the floor, so I'll shut up at last. And if there are people out there or events that have affected you, touched you, inspired you, this is your chance to share them with us, and we'd so much love to hear from you. So fire away. I think Mark has dived in and has his hand up. Great, Mark, go for it. Let's hear from Mark.
Man, Adrian, I don't know where to go from here, man. You just crushed that. Good Lord, brother. Wow, I'm stunned. I'm just sitting here thinking, dang, man, somebody has been taking copious notes. What a rundown on this family, this group. Man, you just, I was mesmerized by this whole session, guy. Wow. You just, big salute to you, bro. Dang. Wow.
That's very kind, Mark. You know, really, it just came from the heart. Didn't have to. I had to jot it down, but it came straight out of the heart. I didn't have to make any notes as I went along. This is what I've picked up from all of you wonderful people across the weeks and the months that we've been battling along, trying to stay positive at difficult moments, sharing difficult situations, sharing wins, sharing love. It's just been great. What more could we ask for Christmas 2020?
You know, Adrian, I look at 2020 as, if I were to narrow it down to one word, I can't speak to everybody here for this, but for me, I would say transformation. This year was a year of transformation for me. From the very start, you know, when a number of us came into the Blue Sky program, and we all had this sort of, it was almost like, It was just mantra. It's at your own pace. This is not a race. This is at your, and I really feel that in this group as well, Adrian. Nobody has pushed anybody unduly or unnecessarily. People have felt very confident, comfortable. I see people who have been able to kind of come out. I'm one of them who came out of their shell, so to speak, and was able to feel more comfortable about talking with people as much as one might think that because of my background. I love getting in front of people and talking. Heck, I didn't know anybody here. That was kind of an uncomfortable position for me because I didn't really know anybody. So I just, I'm really, I feel blessed. I feel great gratitude to this whole group. This whole thing with law of attraction, people being energized, the collective expertise of people in this group and what we've been able to pull together from everyone and utilize. I think 2021 is going to be just the start. We're just getting traction, and John pulling this together. I know he's been doing this for a number of years, this kind of environment. So I suspect he already saw where these things can go. He already had that vision. He already knew where this was going to go. And what I want to say about John particularly is he didn't compel us by use of force or intimidation or any of that kind of stuff. It was just education. It was just teaching. It was just motivation. It was just learning all the things of leadership that we all look to. That was what was happening, and we get to arrive here at our own pace, doing our own thing. And we've heard this even through the last couple of weeks as people have shared about their wins and about what's been going on in their life and how they are approaching life much more so with not as much trepidation, with more stability. The waves aren't as the swells aren't as high. They're not as steep. I see a lot more. And he knew all this. I'm sure he knew all this. And I bet you in the background, he's just kind of giggling, in a way, in a good way, about watching the transformation occur for everybody here and this group as a whole. I mean, I'm just, again, I can't say how much I feel blessed. And I have such great gratitude to be here in this group. And man, I was nervous following you, man, after that friggin' brief, but boy, it was awesome, man. But you got me going, man. You got me motivated that way, and I appreciate this. Thank you. Thanks,
Well, Mark,
Adrian. You're a godsend, bro. Thanks.
I wanted a celebration today, Mark, and you're a big part of it. And I think you're right. John saw all of this. He's chuckling away there with Napoleon Hill right now because he knew it was going to happen. And he's put together a force which, in Napoleon Hill's words, is bigger than all the combined brains of all of us. It's produced something quite extraordinary. So what a celebration, what an end to the year. And thanks, Mark. You've been such an important part of this. You really have. Big part of the family. Ivier, who has her hand up. Lovely to see you, Ivier.
Hi, Adrian. Hi, everyone. Well, I want us all to do something in a minute. But before I get there, I've always said that the men in this group are men of stature, that men that are strong and they're able to show their strength in their vulnerability. Now, for a lot of you, I don't know if you're aware, but Adrian has been on his own in his home on the Cayman Islands for most of this year because of the pandemic. His wife and son have been stranded, right, for want of a better word. I mean, they're in Australia. So if you can think opposite sides of the world, that's been his reality, right? But he shows up every time. And when he shows up, he eggs everybody on in the most positive sense of that phrase, right? He knows how to cheer you on. He's by the sidelines before you get to the starting line, right? And he is already cheering you on before you're taking a single step. He's telling you what he sees you can become, not what you are. So when he speaks to you, he speaks to that future self. He already pictures you having fulfilled your why. So when he encourages you, he's saying stuff that is yet to be. He's calling out your future and telling you, I see you doing this. I see you doing that. Now, it takes a person of great wisdom. It takes a person of a never-ending depth of giving, because he's so gracious and so generous in spirit that he just gives of himself. And sometimes I'm not even sure he understands the import of the words he speaks out, because as Stuart has told us, words are things, right? So when he says those things that are yet to be manifest in our reality, they're not physical things yet. They're concepts, they're things he sees in his mind. But by speaking those words, they fall on our hearts, on our minds as seeds, and they start growing, and they cause us to think more of ourselves than we thought before he spoke, right? So, I mean, he's just been a cheerleader of cheerleaders, and it doesn't matter who it is on this platform, he's always there, egging you on, telling you can go just one more step until you cross that finish line. I mean, I would want him for a coach any day, right? I mean, I would just want him just telling me I can do it. It's possible. Don't give up. And this is what he does on and off screen, right? Whether it's Facebook Messenger, whatever platform, that is who he is, you know, and he stays true to the cause no matter what, right? So I want everybody on the platform this afternoon to give Adrian a resounding, just clap, just let your heartfelt thanks for him show up in your clapping at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much, Adrian. You gave so much of yourself to us, and we can't say thank you enough. I mean, you've been one of the key members of this support system for most of us in 2020, and you've given from a place where you've been on your own, and that speaks volumes, and we can't thank you enough. Thank you.
No, EVA, overwhelmed by that. Thank you so much. I tell you, I just have so much confidence in everybody in this group, and I know that there's nobody here that can't do so anything they set their minds to. They can definitely do it. It's just finding that secret formula from all the things we're studying, combining that consistency, that determination. So I know it's going to happen. That's why I say these things, because I've seen so many people break through, mainly often because they didn't have the confidence. They weren't going to do it. But just talk to the people in the group, and you can do it. If anyone's in doubt, I know you can do it. You can change your life. And I just have that confidence deep down. EVA, that was overwhelming. Thank you. And you know, what a great example again of your oratory, because you really are there. You're there for everybody, I know, and you do more than any of us, I think, to help other people. So what a fantastic, oh yeah, absolutely, EVA. You've really got it. And you know, the stories you've shared are, well, they just bowl me over every time. Anyway, we've got no more hands up at the moment. Someone's got to dive in. Stuart's going to dive in. Our wonderful Stuart.
No one wants to follow EVA after something like that.
Yeah,
How powerful.
yeah, I agree.
Oh my God, dude. Thank you so much. What an amazing session. Dude, I don't even know where to go with this. I just knowing you has been an honor. Your level of compassion and kindness and enthusiasm is highly contagious. Every time you lead a session, you bring your A game, you make us think, you inspire us, you encourage us. You're a great leader. You really are a wise person. And the fact that you took your time today to acknowledge as many people on this call as you could is a testament to your true character and your level of kindness and consideration for other people. I'm humbled by that, really. You, not only are you a wise person, but you really are, you're a great thinker. You're a great presenter, a brilliant speaker. I've really come to appreciate the side chats that we have, the ongoing discussions about philosophy and spirituality and science and quantum mechanics and the mysteries of the universe and how this all ties together, and even just a few little Skype volleys with you, and I feel inspired and recharged. So kudos to you, man. And yeah, dude, you're an inspiration to us all. and an example to us all. So thank you for everything that you bring to this community, for your sessions that you do, for helping us to think and helping us to, just like Ivier was saying, to see the higher versions of ourselves. And thank you for encouraging us, and me in particular, on many levels, to be a better person and better people. So kudos to you, man. Thank you. I love you, brother.
Stuart, that's so kind. And, I think you've just perfectly described yourself. I really do. That's exactly how you are. You give it back in spadefuls every day, and you put so much effort into what you do for everybody, and those brilliant presentations, which I know take a lot of work and preparation. So we appreciate that. But listen, speak, everybody. It's not about me. It's about all of you. It's about Julia, Suzanne, Therese, Aceman, Edward, Lindsay. It's about all of you, and the great things you're doing, the great journey we're having. And part of it is just the fun of doing it, actually, and being with you all. It's not just about arriving anymore. It's about doing it and traveling together in my book, and the moments we share, which I just don't think you'll ever get anywhere else again. It's just such a great sharing. It just gives me so much. Anyone else that's going to pile in, just don't worry. Anyone that doesn't speak normally, please, let's hear from you. I'd so much love to hear from you.
Adrian, I'll jump in.
Hey, Sharon, great.
How are you? You're just
Wonderful,
amazing.
thanks.
That's what you are. You're just amazing.
Oh, no. It's very kind, Sharon.
We all started on this journey at different points. I know I came in late May, early June, and I thought I was just getting into another adventure, if you will, creating a different income, eventually to retire, whatever our reasons for getting in were. And then kind of morphed into what we have with John. And I would never have imagined that just that seed, as Ivier mentioned, that we each planted, would grow into the gift that is this group and the relationships we have. And I know many of you have said this in the same way or different ways, but it just floors me how much this group gives. And I'm going to get emotional here for a second, but just never would have thought that this group could give so much and change so many people. And I can't describe what's happening within myself, just the confidence, all of John's teachings. I could, just like you, Adrian, I could go down the list and just name so many people that have added their wisdom, their knowledge, just everything that is planting seeds, as Ivier said. And we're growing and blossoming in so many different ways. As with you, I did not realize you've been away from your family that long, but so many of us have faced the same challenges. But I don't have the words, the glue, the camaraderie, just everything that's holding us together, and the encouragement, because we don't know what each other is facing. And just such a blessing. I never would have thought COVID would bring this gift to so many. So thank you, Adrian, for opening up this way and sharing every single day. This is the first session I've been on with you leading, and I've got to go back and look at all your sessions now. But again, thank you for the gift of letting us share.
Sharon, that's wonderful. It floors me too. I don't think I've ever had as many friends. And isn't that bizarre? In a time we've been isolated supposedly and locked in, literally, I have more friends than I've ever had. And I know that when we all meet up, it's going to be dynamite, because there are going to be so many lovely bits of repartee, stories, jokes, drinks, parties, celebrations, exchanges of ideas. And, it floors me too, Sharon. It really does. We just I don't think any of us expected this from this year. When we looked at the headlines coming out February, March, it looked pretty bleak. And then suddenly here we were, catapulted into this new world, almost like going through the looking glass into another dimension.
I think we were all looking for something, but we just never expected it to be this. And that truly is a gift. Just what a blessing.
Well put, Sharon. I absolutely agree with you. Thank you so much. And Lindsay has her hand up. Lindsay, you're still driving. Hopefully you can watch the road at the
No.
same time.
No, I pulled over. I'm parked. So, no, I just, the power of this group is, I don't have words for it. I don't. And you're amazing. Everyone, I'm not gonna start naming names. Everyone on here is amazing, and I've gained so much from this group, and I'm just really grateful. I'm just surrounded by so many people that I don't know. It's just, I'm floored, and I'm gonna get emotional. So I just want to say thank you to all of you.
Lindsay, really appreciate that. You know, you're just great. You're so kind. You're so willing to learn, and I can see that you're trying so hard to get on, and you've really started doing it, which is great to see. You really were in the background. You didn't speak when you first came in, and now you're there. You're right in the center of the action, and you're going for it. So well done. You know, well done. And again, call on anybody here, because I think we all want to see you do really well, and we know you're going to do it. We just know it, because your enthusiasm, your bubbly nature, you can push through, you can engage with people. It's partly about selling, as you've now found, selling and being able to project yourself. And you've got that. You've absolutely got that. You could sell anything. And if you can sell stuff, you're going to make a great business. So well done. And, you know, let's see what you get up to in 2021. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lindsay. Therese, my coach, Mark's coach too, I think.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Adrian. Wow. I mean, I think I said it in the chat, and I'll say it again. Yeah, Renaissance man right here in a lot of ways. And I can't remember exactly which one of you commented on how, I think it was Evier, on how Adrian has this way of making you realize like how, you know, how much better, you know, you think so much more higher of yourself than you did. It just like in a conversation, it changes your whole, you know, your whole thought process about yourself. And you just have this really lovely way of, you're a great listener. You have this lovely way of pulling out of people who they are and what their talents are, and then just delivering it back to them without even like, you know, it's just like this casual conversation. And there's been so many aha moments that, you know, have just elevated me. So thank you for that. And as far as the group goes, I mean, yes, I think I had mentioned a few days ago, who would have imagined, right, when we signed up for this Blue Sky course on Amazon, I think, you know, we all had our own thought process behind that. But I feel like the universe was already doing its work, pulling us together, right? If we're all energy, it's this law of attraction. So we came together. This was a plan beforehand, and we were all searching for something. Like Sharon said, I think I had kind of lost my faith in so many things, and I just, yeah, I don't quite know where I would have been without it. So I don't want to get overly emotional. That's in the past. But yeah, just really profound. And I appreciate so much everything that everyone brings, and everyone brings such a different element to the group and elevates me in so many different ways. I think, I don't remember the book, and John was, I think maybe discussing a book, and it was something about, you know, whenever you're in and confronted with a situation, I think it's like have a list of heroes maybe, or like, what would so-and-so do in this situation? And I want you all to know that every day you know, whatever it is, you know, like I'm on hold for 3.5 hours and then the phone disconnects somehow, whatever it is, it's like, I think about what would Evier do? What would Adrian do? You know, what would Carlene do right now? I want Carlene's voice inside of me. So you're all my superheroes, and thank you so much. Happy New Year.
Wonderful, Therese. Yeah, that is the Napoleon Hill's invisible cabinet, picturing yourself around the table. And it's a great way of thinking about it, actually, because, yeah, you can draw lessons from people that aren't with you in terms of looking from another direction. And that was all about the discussions we had about perspective as well, changing your perspective and not just approaching the same problem the same way every time, because you'll certainly get the same result. as Einstein put it. Doing something the same way again and again and expecting a different result is insanity. So that was a great way of getting us to think about perspective, changing our viewpoint, and it can do a lot. But Therese, you do so much and your knowledge is incredible and you really have improved my health. And I thank you for that, because I didn't expect that to happen either. So just brilliant, Therese. And, you're just so passionate about your subject. It shows through in the sessions you deliver and the advice you give me and other people. You just know so much, and you're not saying, oh, I know it all. You're constantly trying to look up new aspects. So impressive.
Thank you.
And just such a great lateral thinker. Brilliant. Well done, Therese.
Thank you, everyone.
Linda has her hand up.
Hi, Adrian. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Linda.
I know I don't come out much. I can never seem to find the words. But I just want to say thank you to everyone. When COVID hit, I want to say I was paralyzed. I never thought that I would lose my job or be without work, but it happened, and that's how I found Blue Sky and found you guys. I've learned so much in this past year, and I'm looking so forward to 2021 because of all of you. And I'm getting emotional, so I'm gonna just say thank you again and just love you all.
That's wonderful, Linda. Applause for Linda, everybody. Really, that's just brilliant, Linda. And you know what? I log on to as many sessions as I can. And when I see you log on and your smiling face, the session's made, it's all great, because I know we're going to have a great session. You're always there, always backing us up, always enthusiastic. So we really, really appreciate that. And you've just got to decide what you want to do. There's so many people that will help you get there. Just set your target in front of you, start painting the rings on it and say, where is it? What is it? And we're all there to help. We're all there to help, Linda. You're not alone in this. And 2021 is going to be phenomenal. As Mark was saying, this is just the beginning. We've just been preparing so far. We've got a whole 12 months to go for it here in our 12-week plans, or whatever it is we're using, breaking down to 3 months at a time, whatever you want to do. Things are going to start happening, and it's starting to increase because people are firing off each other now and escalating each in turn to a higher level. It's an upward spiral. So pleased that you've stuck with it, Linda, and you've stuck on those sessions and you've contributed so much. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nikki, the artist otherwise known as the apostrophe, has her hand up. Nikki, it's brilliant that you're here.
Thank you.
I love our repartee. We share so many jokes, and what a smart person. What an incredibly funny and smart person you are.
Well, thank you for that. And I have to say that's been hugely encouraging. As many of you know, I've shared my testimony on here, and it's been a big growth year for me. I had to write it down because my memory is so bad. So I wrote here that I joined Blue Sky, and through that I joined this group, and I literally thought I was just going to be earning some extra income, and that was going to be very nice. And well, that might have been, but for now I can say I joined a group of friends. I've had intellectual stimulation, ideas, encouragement, and the support that's allowed me to grow as a person, to face some of my demons, and to be in a better place to face the rest. And that to me has been greater than any value of income or money or anything else. It's actually what I've gained out of it as a person, and I can't put a value on that. And I thank you all for that. I thank you, Adrian, for the wit and repartee he's just mentioned. And so I'm just really grateful to everybody for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. I mean, Nikki, you've really got something. You've got enormous charisma, and there aren't many people that have got so much of it. So I do think you could carry a whole enterprise, let alone a small business, because you've just got the personality and what it takes to get people behind you, to engage with clients, customers. So go for it, Nikki, because I know you can do it. You've got enormous projection and enormous power and a great communicator. So I just hope you can connect up all of that with your goals and decide what they are and show us the way, because I know you're going to do this. Thank you, Nikki. I know you're going to do it.
Thank you.
Julia. one of my favorite thinkers who comes on the sessions. How are you, Julia?
Well, I'm overwhelmed. Thank you so much. Way back in Blue Sky days, Kim Brown and I had connected, and we thought, well, we'll be a little group for each other, a little support for each other. And then things fell apart with the whole mastermind thing during the week, and suddenly we have this new group. And I'm so delighted to see Kim on here, because she's just chugging through and doing everything that she had thought she would do, and then some, I'm sure. And I remember, I joined this group early on, but I didn't participate because I was busy with, another job and things that I had to do. And I thought, well, I'll get there someday. And by the time I finally got on, I'm like, wait a minute, these people are like really close. And I feel like I'm way over here on the edge. And will I ever feel like I'm part of this? And oh my God, I love you all. And I feel like I have family around the world, and I have visited with llamas. I take trips up in the mountains with llamas. I'm on the Grand Cayman beaches, wishing I were there. And I'm in Africa. I'm in Qatar with Ego. I'm in London with my new little sister, who shall remain nameless, but you can see her laugh. And the adopted sister. There are just so many ways that my life has expanded through this group. And it's interesting because I find that, even though when my husband is working in the next room, or he's banging in the closet next to my office, or right now in and out of our living room, he's listening. And we're reading books together. And even though he doesn't come on the group, it's everything we're doing is impacting his life as well. And I feel like my mastermind has expanded here at home too. I mean, we've always been on the same wavelength that way, but it's just fun to be able to share all these adventures that I'm feeling around the world with my new friends. My friend Edward in England, where I once spent some time as an exchange student, and Khaled and Edward, Elmer and Hansoon, admiring the art on his walls, things like that. The little side chats are so much fun and so much bonding too. And my husband's over here, he's all dressed up in hazmat stuff. And he says, invite you all to come stay with us. And you are all invited. Please do come. We have an Airbnb, and you are most welcome. What else did I want to say? Oh, I also wanted to say that it's such a safe place, that many of us have shared from our hearts and have shed tears. And I don't think anyone ever regrets having been vulnerable with this group, because you are all so loving and giving and kind. And that means so much. And I thank you all.
Julia, just a contagious light, contagious energy, and a great spirit. And we're really lucky to have you with us. Really, really. Thank you so much for that. Really, really was a great, great summary. And Khalid has his hand up. Khalid, so lovely to have you here today.
Hello, Adrian. How are you?
I'm fine. And you're a great person. And I know we're going to see some incredible things happening, because
you are a real G for me. Very inspirational. Just wanted to say how my journey started with, I come with Blue Sky, what Nikki said, just to make money. Then when I started Blue Sky, I was assigned a coach or someone from Blue Sky, and told me I have to join this and follow up John's few steps. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I'm not a big reader. I'm sorry, I can't read, but I'll try my best and join a couple of sessions and I'll see how it goes. And I was like, nah, it's not for me. It doesn't work for me. I don't read books. I don't join all these sessions and all that. First sessions I joined, all right. Second sessions, I just started loving it straight away. And then I got addicted to it. I got hooked to it. Without this group, maybe I would have stopped already, or even if I didn't, I wouldn't have the confidence or strength I have right now. I'm not successful what I'm doing, but I know I can do it. I'll do it. But there's a lot of change in me, a lot of struggles since, you know, the COVID-19 and everything. But without this group, maybe directly you guys didn't help me face to face or one-to-one, but you know, in a bigger picture, you guys, each and everyone helped me with your stories and experience, and laughters and joys and sadness and everything helped me. That I didn't feel alone, because we're all same, yeah, feeling the same pain and joy. So I never thought I would read a book with my wife. She would be reading one book recommended by John, and I will be reading another book. And that was like, for my wife, there was like, she won £1 million or something. She thought, I never thought you would read a book next to me. She was a big reader, and I never read. I listen or watch videos. That's one of the good things I probably wouldn't have done otherwise. And then I spoke to my wife the other day, like, I might have to go to America. And she's like, why? And I'm like, for business reasons. She's like, nah, this is not business. You're going to see your friends, not business. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but you're not going. I'm going alone. Yeah, that's how important this family is to me. This 1 hour every day after all day hard work, it's just it's amazing every day. It gives you a lot of strength. You know, it wipes your sorrowness and makes you happy. That's 1 hour. And I would like to thank you all. Ego, Adrian Garner, and Adrian, Stuart, yeah, Stuart, Mark, and everyone else who I can't really remind myself everyone's name. Bill, everyone. I love you all. Thanks for being here with us, and we will get there. I'm hopeful for a better 2021, and we will achieve our goals together. Thank you.
Brilliant, Khaled. You know, and you've hit the nail on the head. It's human nature. How many of us would have just stopped moving without a group around us to inspire us to keep going? You almost feel you don't want to let anybody down. It holds you in. You want to turn up. You want to keep going. And that's the motive force that you need when you're on your own and isolated to get through. And we're all the same. So that's the power of a mastermind group, and it works. And as we said earlier, John knew that it was going to work. He was ahead of us there, and look what he's managed to do for us all. So, you know, again, applause for John and for Shannon and what they do for us. And thank you so much. I'm sorry we're not seeing John on my screen here, but I don't know if he's going to dive in because we've reached the top of the hour, if he's still around. But you know, you've put me into the clouds today, everybody. I think I feel invigorated. It's just great to end the year up this way. I wanted it to be a real celebration today of all of you and the brilliant things that you're doing. So thank you so much. And I'll just briefly remind you of tonight's sessions. There are 2 more sessions today. Ivier is speaking in Corporate Curios at 5 p.m. Eastern Time US, and Stuart speaking 8 p.m. US, Adventures in Mindset. So there are 2 more sessions to come. So it's not over yet. We're getting the most out of this year that we possibly can. Thank you, everybody, for all your great and kind words, and thank you to all of you for doing what you do. We will see each other all later on. Thanks very much. I'm going to sign out and see you later. Bye for now.